Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan. And you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our eBay store and our Facebook page. And there will also be a link to the item page of these items that you can buy directly. So those of you who have watched a lot of our videos will know that a lot of the stuff we sell are things like One Piece and Dragon Ball and Naruto and that sort of stuff. But we do dabble in some other series, and of course one of the most famous series in Japan is Nintendo. And I've always, for many years, wished that Nintendo released more figures, and it seems like they've finally got their act together. Of course, in the last 12 months we've had the Amiibo release. Ironically, they probably started doing all this because their video game division is struggling, but nonetheless, these are great figurines, and I'm not a huge fan of. Well, actually, I think the Amiibos are great. I really do, but I'm not a huge fan of small figures. I tend to like larger figures. I just think they make better display pieces. Or Amiibos, they kind of look better displayed with lots of figures, and I think lots of figures just makes things feel congested and just a little bit too busy. So yeah, anyway, I really like these figures. I kind of wish I didn't have to do this review because I'm actually really tempted to buy these now myself. So I really think I'm going to do that. But anyway, let's look at these figures. So the first thing that actually surprised me is these figures are actually not made of like a plastic. I actually don't know what they're made of, but it's like a plaster. It's actually quite you probably can't tell, but they're really heavy and they're really solid, and it's like a plaster. I mean, if I drop these on tiles, I'm pretty sure they would like shatter or crack, or break pretty badly. So they're sort of like a ceramic-y kind of thing, but rather than just sort of like a standard plastic figure. So they are actually very heavy, especially King Koopa or Bowser. Very, very heavy. So actually, I should have mentioned from the beginning, I will show you the box at the end. These are from Super Mario Land 3. Sorry, Super Mario 3D Land, which is actually a great game. I have played it. So there are only 4 figures released in this, and these are the 4 that you can see here. So let's now actually start reviewing them. And did I forget my ruler? Yes, I did. Anyway, I can show you an iPhone 5 case. So that's roughly, it's appropriate actually having a Game Boy, isn't it? So they're actually pretty decent size. They're not huge, but they're pretty decent. So firstly we have Mario here, and I really love this figure. Actually looks really good. Just the way he's sort of holding his hat and just sort of walking around with the plastic stand. And you really do need that, just because the weight of the figure. There is a little pin in here, but there's no way that would hold on its own. So that's Mario. Then we have Boomerang Mario, which is one of the power-ups available in the game. And it gives you 1 extra life and also the ability to throw boomerangs at enemies. So he's pretty strong when he's walking around with this. Sorry, that's going a bit dark. Now this one also has a little stand, but you probably could get away with actually not having it if you wanted to. So I actually tried it before. He seems to stand fine, but I guess they did it as a precaution because, as I said, these are pretty heavy figures. So that's Boomerang Mario. He looks so funny, I think. So no Tanuki Mario figure, but they did make the Boomerang one. Then we have Kuribo, or Goomba, I think you say in English. And you'll notice that he has the little Tanuki or raccoon tail. So these guys can actually fly. They're like an evolved version of. They've had their butts kicked for 25 years. It's only natural that they evolve. So these guys can actually fly, which makes them a little bit more tricky to kill. But Tanuki Mario is pretty powerful because he can fly. And then probably the coolest one, I think, King Koopa. He is really heavy. Like when I had like the box, I was like, really? How is it this heavy? And then when I opened them, I realized that, you know, just because the material they used and the quality of these figures, that's why they're so heavy. But just because of the size, not just the height so much, but just the bulk. And he actually already comes on his base. He's just massive, like just so heavy, and he must weigh at least 1 kilo. I'm convinced. There is. Yeah, I shipped an art book the other day, which was like 800 grams, and I mean it's heavier than this. There's no doubt about that. So I'd be very surprised if this guy was not over 1 kilo. So there you go. So King Koopa, Tanuki Goomba, Boomerang Mario, and Mario. Now we sell these as a 4 set, but if you do want just 1 or 2 or even 3 of these figures, we should be able to arrange that for you. We actually had a customer who bought just these 2, so obviously they like the bad guys. Bowser's always my character of choice if I'm playing like Mario Kart or whatever. So while I just get these out of the way, so Super Mario Land 3D Land is actually a really cool game. I played it on the 3DS, but I think it was also released on the Wii U. And yeah, it's a really great game. It's basically 2D Mario, so that's what the figures looks like. But it's kind of like a 3D. Yeah, it's like basically it's not like Super Mario 64. It's like traditional Mario, but with some dimensionality to it. And it was a great game. I actually didn't find it that challenging. I'm not that good at Super Mario, but I got through it pretty easily and collecting all the coins and things. But then when you finish it, spoiler alert, you can actually play the levels again with like different challenges and that sort of stuff. So the Japanese just says basically what it does in English: Super Mario 3D Rando and collection figure. So which is collection figure, obviously. And that's the box, the top, and the Nintendo seal. So these are like Nintendo figures, even though they probably had a third party make them for them. And then the bottom is the same. So that's what the box looks like. And then just as a final thing, I was just going to show you, I nearly forgot, what they look like next to the amiibos. So Mario is probably one of the smaller ones. So you can see that, you know, they're not huge figures, but I personally think that makes a much better display figure than a little Mario. But the amiibos are cool. The amiibos are definitely cool. I think they look great. But that gives you an idea for the size. So yeah, that's the Super Mario 3D Land you know, figures. I think they're really great. I'm seriously gonna get these for myself. So I'm blaming you for having to make this video. But I'm joking. But yeah, I'm really gonna get these. These are fantastic figures. And if you're a Nintendo nut, you know, they really are a must-have. I mean, these are timeless, right? There's always going to be Goombas and Marios and Koopas, and I actually really like the Boomerang Mario too. I think that's pretty cool. So I really like the pose they made him in. So yeah, 4-figure release. Pretty rare now, actually. Pretty hard to get. Obviously very popular here in Japan and all around the world. I think they were only released in Japan. So yeah, great figures to add to your collection. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.